Morning Miracle Chat. We are so glad you're all here today. I am Darlene Clayholtz from Colorado Springs, subbing in for Karen O'Neill today. We love doing this call every Monday morning and sharing our testimonials, and you're welcome to ask any questions that you might have. We also would love to hear maybe some of your special stories from the NOVA conference over the weekend. If you had a watch party, if something special popped into your head that you're all excited about because of the NOVA conference. And at the bottom of your screen is a reaction button. If you will raise your hand, then I'll know you're wanting to speak. And if you don't know how to do that and you just really want to talk, just start waving your hand and I'll see that also. Please remember that we don't name any diseases. We just use the symptoms to describe what you're telling us about. And a good way to tell your story is to say how you were before you started wearing the patches and then how you are after wearing the patches. And a lot of times people really want to know what patches you were using and where you placed them. So those are some things that you can add to your story when you're doing that. And remember, we don't claim to treat or cure any diseases. We just let these patches do their thing and take over and start making us healthier and younger. So it looks like Heidi, you are our first hand up. There you go.
Good morning. So I have two quick stories. The first one is just this morning, I realized that I was out of my, I put my X39s in a dated little cube here. And I don't even know where I found these. I think my daughter found them at a dollar store. But if you'll notice, the next patch has the date on it. So I loved myself today by putting the next stack of 30 days right by my bedside, where I have my X49, my X39, and my Alavita. And I thought, oh my gosh, I put the last date on it. And guess what is the last day of a 30-day patch sleeve if you were to start it today? It's Valentine's Day.
Ooh.
So I loved myself all the way to Valentine's Day today, this morning. So that's my first story. That's my first story is plot out how you're going to love yourself until Valentine's Day and start today. And then, so from the NOVA conference, I ended up calling all of my people back to the first day that I put a patch on, February 22nd. And I did a 3-way call with Robin, with a particular individual in sometime in April. And I called her and I said, remember that 7-day pack that I sent? She goes, yeah, it really helped my bowels, but I didn't want to tell you that. And I went, okay, but what else did it help? And she said, well, I'm starting to get some dryness in my eyes. And I'm like, oh, I got a story for that. Hold on, let me go get my notebook. I literally went and got my notebook, pulled up the tenor singer that had the blindness, replayed that story. She's like, I can use my HSA for this purchase, can I? And I'm like, yeah, but you're over 55. You got to up your game because I'm going to get you the cheapest price. I shouldn't say cheapest. I did say most inexpensive price of your X39 pack. So she ended up enrolling in more health savings account monies. And I said, you can, if you have kids, and she says, no, I don't have kids. You know that. And I said, well, you can do up to $7,550 per year on your health savings account. And I said, but if you're single, I think it's somewhere around 3,000. I said, you can get 2 packs of our least expensive X39, X49 bundles. So guess what? That's what she's doing today, is she's ordering it. So I'm so excited that I know all about the tax savings and I know how to love myself till Valentine's Day. So those are my 2 stories.
That's fantastic. And that kind of goes hand in hand with NOVA. It was heart to heart. So that's great, Heidi. Thank you. Okay, Gregory, your hand is next.
Yes, thank you very much. And I just, Heidi, thank you for bringing up that HSA. I don't know why we haven't talked about that, but what a brilliant way to make your LifeWay patches tax deductible for those of you that have a health savings account, because you can buy nutritional products, health supplementation, and many things that you can't get your insurance to cover, you can spend with HSA. So that's brilliant, Heidi. Thanks for bringing that up. You know,
and
I
you do
wanted to
have until
share.
January 31st to change your elections. So that's why it's a deadline month.
Okay, good to know for everyone. So I just wanted to, you know, I just got off the phone with our precious upline senior presidential Kai Jacobson, who's been stuck in Houston and traveling and wasn't able to listen to Nova. And he said, okay, well, what was the highlight for you for Nova? And I think it was the same for Robin and I. You know, I was really delighted with David's focus on X39 first. And as he went through all those different health, you know, situations, which he well documented. If you missed it, you have to see this portion where he talked about a particular, you know, maybe it's brain function. You know, he didn't say Alzheimer's, he didn't say dementia. He says, maybe you're having an issue with brain function. Here's the LifeWay products you should use. And here's maybe some other supplements, but every time it started with X39. It was X39 first, X39, or you could do X39 plus this, or you could do X39 plus this and this. But I was really delighted that David is standing behind kind of our battle cry, X39 single product focus in a multi-product company. And I know, yeah, that's it. It's X39. Thank you, Heidi. It's X39. That's what's about 70% of our corporate sales. Since they launched X39, the company grew from 2 million a month to 30 million a month. Do the math. Okay. It's like, this is a phenomena. And I just want to, and Robin's going to talk briefly about it next with me here, is I think that I would like to suggest on these calls that we talk more about X39. I did X39, did this. I did X39 and that. But, you know, I think that, you know, we've got some feedback that sometimes people don't want to bring their new people to this Monday morning call because we talk about everything. And I think that's very cool. But I think that if we could keep the X39 focus, let's look and follow the leader. And our leader is David Schmidt. He says X39, you start with X39 for everything. So, you know, Robin, if you're on, did you want to chime in on that?
I'm in total agreement. and I think it's really important. It is so comprehensive. It makes everything else work better. And so we want to make sure we, you know, always have that as foundational for everything. And yes, I got a really wonderful Christmas present from my darling. I got some cross-country skis, and we went out yesterday for my first time on them, and I immediately fell, and then I had 2 falls. It was very humbling, and I got quite a goose egg on my leg. And the first thing we did, X39, and I did the X39 Eon, but it was always X39 first. And woke up this morning and it was really tender and really swollen. And I woke up with no tenderness or swelling. There's still some discoloration, but I'm way better and I'm very happy. So, you know, X39, if you're wanting to, you know, really make it as simple and easy as possible for everyone, it's X39. Keep it simple. Back to you.
Thank you. That was great. Liz, you were the next person in line.
Well, seeing everyone's talking about Nova, I'll share with you what we have done with the Live Younger Success. Gregory called me and said, do you want to do this for the morning? I said, well, I thought it'd be better for the evening, but you all are talking about Nova. So I've got a point on that. And then I've got to tell you what happened to me this morning. So the first thing is that we were able to record the whole Nova presentation on Saturday. And so that is now living in our Live Younger Success website and our Live Younger YouTube channel, as well as I excerpted out just David's portion, and that's its own separate video. And so both of those are available on, first of all, on the What's New tab under the Nova videos. If you look at the menu, it says the second item down is Nova, and then it says videos. Also under the library section where you have David's videos, it's now in there as well at the top of the David Schmidt library page. Okay. In addition, we have reorganized the YouTube channel so that the home page is more efficient, and we can mention that more tonight when we get into that. But I wanted to share with you what happened to me this morning. I was talking with Bluehost, which is a hosting provider company similar to like GoDaddy. Okay. And I was having a issue with a particular page that I was building out, and it was talking about the X39 and the video patches. And the lady that I got to, it was actually the wrong department, but she goes, "This is really interesting." She goes, "I had an accident several years back and I had to have stem cell therapy." She goes, "But this is really interesting. I want to know more about this." So I gave her our website URL, and of course she can't give me her information, so I had to give her my information. And she said, "Well, my sister is also a chef and has a particular medical condition that affects the muscles." And so I told her what had happened with me with my condition, and she goes, "Wow, that's really great." And so we'll see if she contacts me back. But I thought that was really interesting. And she said to me, "You didn't come to me by accident." She goes, "You were supposed to come to me today." So because it was the wrong department that I got to initially. So interesting how the world and universe reacts to us. So
Liz, real quickly, I've got the
yeah, I see it.
what section brought up. Could you explain what we're looking at here real quickly for everyone?
Okay, go up to the very top and let's look at the menu item first.
Yeah.
Okay, if you click on the Nova 2023 videos, okay, it takes you right to that section. The one that's on the left where your mouse was a minute ago,
I didn't know if you wanted to wash
is
wash
just
them
the
now.
David section. Okay, that's
Yeah,
a
but they have to
2-hour section.
Hold on,
So-
we've got somebody talking in the background. Tim, could you keep an eye, see if you can figure out who that is and
It's
mute them?
Jada
Or-
Kelly, and she just muted.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Okay, so on the top section there, David is the left, and that's a 2-hour section. Okay, then the one to the right is the full session 1 morning session, and that's like, I don't know, what was it, 3 hours long? And
Maybe
then
we can add down here, Liz, morning session. And
Okay.
then, yeah, this way people know.
Well,
So this is,
it depends upon what part of the country you're in, because that wasn't morning for me.
we'll call it session 1.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. So then the next row has the next session at part 2, and then what I'm calling part 3. So we can rename them.
Yeah. And as we're working with it, we love your feedback, but there might be other parts we'll excerpt. And these are also available in Live Younger YouTube, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So if you go to Live Younger YouTube and you go to the home section, is that where we would go?
Keep
Or-
going down. I don't think I've got it there. Go to the playlists.
Okay, so there's Nova.
And then there it is, Nova view full playlist. Nope. Yep, right there.
Okay, so pretty much the same thing that we have in Live Younger Success. So so this is shareable links if you want to share with somebody. So and this will hold us over until the company gets their formal version available for us all. So we kind of jumped the gun a little bit.
Which we usually do.
Okay,
We like to be ahead of the pack.
our boat's a little smaller, turns a little quicker. Okay. Great. Well, I'll stop the share and turn it back to you, Darlene, to introduce. We got quite a few hands up.
Okay, we got a
so
lot of hands up.
over
Linda Addington, you're next. Unmute and go.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Darlene, and everybody. I really enjoyed the Nova workshop all day on Saturday as well. You know, they offered a promotion for a bundle of X39 and Eon. And I'm wondering if, and it's only from the 14th to the 20th, so it's a very limited time, but I'm wondering if we can use that as our monthly shipment or auto ship.
Usually you can't use specials for auto ship because
Okay.
they're discounted. Yeah.
Okay, that's my question.
Correct
And
me
then
if I'm wrong, if anybody else knows different, but I don't believe you can put specials on auto ship.
And by the way, that QR code that they put up, that is a screenshot in our YouTube, in our Facebook group, Live Younger Facebook group. So if anybody's looking for it, it's in there.
Great. I also have a little testimonial. I had eye surgery a little over a month ago, and there's a series of drops that you take, and I was finished with all of that. And I woke up yesterday and my eye was really sore and super light sensitive, like just opening the curtains. I was like, oh my God. And I thought, it's Saturday, doctor's offices aren't open. What do? I put X39 right here and then Ice Wave on either side of my eyes. And then I was able to get through to the doctor, and he told me that probably when I stopped the drops, for my specific situation, it was too abrupt, and that I could go back on them and then wean off little by little. And the combination of the X39, the Ice Wave, and using some drops, by midday, my eye was fine. No pain, no blurriness, and my vision was super clear. So thank you, X39 and Ice Wave.
That's great. Thank you. Just so people do know, you can find that special if you're on your back office and hit patches and then promotions. That's how I ordered mine last night. And you can add other patches to that order with the special if you want to, and save some postage. So instead of doing your monthly subscription, if you just maybe hold it for a month and add what you want onto that, you'll save, because you can put quite a few patches on for that first level of postage. Okay, Sunshower Rose, you are next.
I wasn't clear on that.
Oh,
I'm so sorry, Darlene. So you can add it onto your auto ship. I don't understand. I didn't follow.
You can just do like a one-time order. And put that special in, and I put 3 other patches in also.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Thank you so much.
Okay, Sunshower.
Okay, good morning. I'm gonna lower my hand now. Well, wasn't Nova fabulous? We
It
did have a
was.
watch party, and the next day, so yesterday, we did a Zoom with team members that were both local and at a distance, so that we could share what we felt were our highlights. So that was really good. It was a great suggestion. Pretty sure it was Robin that suggested that while it's still fresh in your mind, to do a little gathering. That was cool because people were starting to get to know each other that hadn't met or hadn't seen even a picture of each other, but had heard those names. So that, talk about community, that was really cool.
Great.
I loved everything. Oh, and thank you so much, Liz, you're so right on top of everything. to put those sections up at Live Younger and the other spots. Perfect. And that they're shareable links. Unbelievable. So I just wanted to share one of my favorite things from Nova. When I was at the Orlando conference last August, Dr. Edward Chu got on stage and was introducing a lot of the Malaysians. And so I just found him to be adorable. He was really funny. Didn't see all that humor this time, but I did like something that he presented. And it talks about the four pillars for strategy for our business. And so what he presented, I looked at it and I made a screenshot and I go, nah, it doesn't appeal to me so much. And where are the pillars? There was no pillars. So I decided to do my graphic thing. So here it is. I can share this with you if you want. And I'll read you what the four pillars say. They say commitment to a greater cause, communicate in the moments that matter, measure, optimize, grow. Oops, I duplicated that. I'll have to fix that. There were four, I only show three. Anyway, I'll fix that. And then of course, there was about, the power of the heart, sharing heart to heart. So I added my swirly heart. So I'll fix that. Just in the chat, let me know if you'd like me to send that to you. I'd be happy to. Thanks so much.
Thank you. That's great.
Sunshower, what I'd like to request is if you fix that and send it to me, it just might end up in our newsletter today. And if you could be available to talk about it on tonight's call, we wanted to get some leaders like yourself involved, sharing some highlights from Nova. That's going to be the focus of our call tonight. That would be perfect. Beautiful. Nicely done.
Happy to do that. See you tonight.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Michelle Garrett, you're next.
Hi, everybody. Nova was wonderful. I've been working with a psychologist trying to get her signed up. She lost my number and she said it took her 2 hours yesterday to go through her contacts to find me again. And so she called and we got to talk about Nova. And she was very excited. I told her how David had mentioned natural protocols for so many different health situations. She was thrilled about that. And she had a question. She's about the regrowing cartilage. She wondered, has anybody actually regrown cartilage and how long does it take? So that's my question. And then I have a little story. Does anybody know about that?
I think everybody's probably different, but go ahead, Robin.
Yeah, I'll respond to that, Michelle. Yeah, everyone is different. Exactly right. And he didn't stress as much as he did when he first told me that the importance of the supplementing of collagen. He did talk about it. Collagen and vitamin C that are the building blocks of cartilage. And the study was originally done by a doctor in Italy, and he had great success. I've heard some people have success and some not, and you have to be like anything, very consistent and catch it at the right time. So it's worth trying for sure. And everyone is different. So we don't ever give, expectations because we never know. We never know, but give it a try.
Okay, thank you. I will tell her that.
Yeah.
And then I have a quick story. My brother-in-law stayed with us for a few days after he had liver surgery in July, and we started him on the patches for the healing process, which was wonderful. He healed greatly. His doctor was real pleased with the speed and the depth of the healing. Well, then he's had other little things along the way that have been happening that are very pleasant to him. And he called recently and he said that 10 years ago, he was installing a marble floor and he dropped a large piece of marble on his toes and lost his toenails on his big toes 10 years ago. And they've stayed the same way all that time, never grown back. And now with X39 only, his toenails are growing back. So I thought that was a cute story.
That's great. That's a great story, especially
for me.
That it happened 10 years ago.
Yes, amazing, I thought.
Okay. Adele, you are next.
Thank you. I just wanted to say in support of X39, That was the first patch I used, and I used it for just over a month, and that was the only patch I used. And I can honestly say, I will have to add, Aloe Vita was on special, so I ordered some, but I wasn't very good about using those initially. So basically, I used X39 for the first month, and I got rid of, in 5 weeks, all my cat and dog allergies, which was huge. So, and other, the arthritis, excuse me, the discomfort in my right hand went away, as well as my vision got better. So I just want to encourage. And then, so what I tell people is that story. And I say, just start with X39, fall in love with it. And then you can try the other patches. And that's worked really well for me. So I just thought I would say that to support the whole X39 concept.
Beautiful.
Thank you. We only used X39 for the first year. We didn't add any of the extra patches in, and we had amazing results. I don't know why we waited so long, but we did. Okay, Kathleen. Unmute. There you go.
Good morning. Good morning. Last night I got a call from a niece who has a very good friend that had a residual effect of loss of taste and loss of smell from something she had a year ago. And she said X39, and I said, of course, that's where you start. And I said, I'm going to put that out to the group in the morning and ask if anyone has a protocol to follow after that. Like, I know everybody's different, and I told her that. Oh, she knows that too. But is there anything that's been developed among the group that I've somehow missed of what she could do next, or also after the X39 for, say, 30, 60 days? If there's something else, has anyone developed a protocol for that?
Does anybody have an answer for her?
Sunshower would be the one that I would go to for that. She's regained her taste.
Well, the thing is that you cannot hear me?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me, Kathleen?
Oh, yes, now I hear you. There was somebody talking over somebody. Okay.
My situation was a bit different. I was born without the sense of smell.
Right. I know that. Okay.
Right. So mine was just consistent use of X39. I bet you there's some more stuff that could be done for that situation that the person, took on, unfortunately, a year ago. But I'll let somebody else address that then.
Yeah, I'm happy to address that one. And David, in some other talks, has mentioned this X39, eon, and glutathione.
That's what I thought.
Yep, you got it. That's it's kind of like we were with a company before, and if ever there was a question, the answer was always the liver, because the liver does so much. But in our business, it's always X39, eon, and glutathione, because the immune system needs to be strengthened and the inflammation needs to be reduced. And David did a presentation that showed people that makes a big difference over time. So for that condition.
And you noticed I said my niece, so I have to have a reinforcement behind what I think is the right thing to do. It's just a little warning for everybody else who have nieces and relatives. Sometimes you need the reinforcement of the group. Thank you very much.
Okay, I think Mike's next, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mike?
I haven't been on for a very long time, but I have a feeling I know why Darlene wants me to talk today. I've continued to use X39. I use a lot of other things. I won't mention which ones they are, but in December, I took a long road trip all by myself, and I'm 74, and I've been told by numerous numbers of people that I shouldn't have been able to do that by myself. And I said, well, why? I mean, I feel great. And I've been told that my insides, this is from doctors using their instruments, that my insides make me somewhere in the neighborhood of 31 or 32. And so, I mean, but this was long before I started taking anything from Lifeway. Anyway, but I left San Antonio on the 7th of December, went from there to Pittsburgh and spent about a week. Then I went to Dayton and to Indianapolis, and then I spent some time in Topeka, and then in central Kansas, and then I came home just before Christmas, and I did a total of, like, I think the exact amount was 3,753 miles. People say either you're crazy, or I said, but I had a reason. I had people I needed to see. I had goals. I had purpose and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, who at 74 strikes off by yourself and does something like that? So that's probably
a great trip. Great
Mike
testimonial.
yeah.
I've noticed also that we've taken several road trips driving 10 hours a day. And before, I would never, ever have been able to sit in the car that long and do that. And it's just amazing. And I'm going to be 73 this year. So
Well,
those patches are magic, but it's really
on
science.
On the 7th, I left at 11 o'clock in the morning, and I drove straight through Cincinnati with only about 2 stops of about an hour apiece to just take the edge off.
Great.
So,
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. We're going to let Ronna and Roxy in Arizona go next, but Jana put a message in that she can't raise her hand. So after they talk, Jana, why don't you hop in?
I have a dream. I'm so happy to be home today on Martin Luther King Day in the rain. And I am happy to know about that HSA because I have one and a lot of people that I work with have one. So we're excited to be able to use that. And here's Ron. So Ron had one of those fingernails that from X39 that was growing wrong his whole life, and then it just repaired itself after years, right? Completely, you know, from the time he was like, what, 17 years old, he had this fingernail growing in this particular way. So we're always thinking, gosh, if it's helping this fingernail, what is it doing else inside? And then you know, this is new information that I heard David say a couple of times on the Nova Talk, was that putting the ice wave on the bottom of the feet. Ron wasn't able to watch Nova live because he was working on a fence project for 9 hours, all of the daylight hours, maybe not quite 9, that whole day, and patched up all his patches doing the job. And then afterwards, he was like, I just feel a little, I was going to tell the story. And then he walked in and you put the ice wave on the bottom of your feet. And he was like, I feel so good. I feel so good. My whole body feels
great. Yeah, it was great.
Right.
It just took away all the little aches and pains from working hard all day. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, so it's exciting. And man, talk about a dream. Do we have the ability to, as the one fellow said, I have more luck. So just the whole frequency of life, we're very thankful. Yeah.
Thank you. That's a great story. So Jana, do you want to hop in next?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, perfect. I'm on my phone. Somehow video isn't working. So I wanted to share a wonderful story of a woman that I know who just recently joined. And as I said, she had a spasmodic cough, like it would stop and she would start and she couldn't stop it for 26 years. And she has been to every healer, including myself, in Sedona over the 26 years. Nobody has been able to stop this cough. She finally got on the patches. I introduced her to it quite a while ago and she wasn't interested, but one of my distributors introduced her to it finally now. And she finally agreed to try it. And within 2 weeks, her cough is gone. Just X39.
That's fantastic. That is a great story. My daughter also gets a cough that has kind of mysteriously disappeared. I think it's the patches.
Oh, I will say that her acupuncturist told her to put the X39, she's also signed up, right under, if you go in the middle of your chest and you go down to where your ribs stop, that point right where the diaphragm is, she told her to put the patch there. And that worked.
Great, thank you. Okay, Kyra, you're next, and we're kind of a little over time, so let's try and do our story short.
Thank you. The only, I was just going to address the question that Kathleen had regarding now I can't remember exactly what Kathleen had. Cartilage. I had some severe swelling of my arm when I was in Italy, and it was directly due to a lot of insect issues, insect bites. And my arm swelled up, and I found that I used the X39 Eon and glutathione, and it was greatly improved. So that was something that Kathleen may want to consider.
Okay, thank you. All right, Valerie.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Yes, I have a friend that I was talking with last night, and he was saying that his wife has, I don't know what to say, but she can't remember things. So I was wondering what patch and where to put the patch if you have memory problems.
David talked about that in the NOVA conference. So X39 for sure. And I don't have my notes right here, but he did share a couple other patches that you could add to that protocol. So if you go in where Liz was telling us that she's got his video on Live Younger Success, it's also in Live Younger Facebook, and you will be able to find those protocols that he put up for that.
And Darlene, we also have the HAT protocol in the library section, resources. So
yes, that's another good
HAT
idea.
Protocol is.
Yes.
If you can do a search on the website too, and just put in HAT protocol, and it will pull it up everywhere that is listed throughout the whole website.
Aren't you sweet? Thank you.
Thanks. Well, thank you everyone for great stories today, and I am going to give it back to Gregory and Robin so they can talk about tonight.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you whoever shared about I Have a Dream, because I was reading something this morning from Martin Luther King, and in honor of him today, I want to share some things tonight. So appreciate all of you and the X39 focus. That's a really smart thing to do for, you know, all of your prospects and customers and for your business. So tonight,
we're going to focus with some of our leaders like Sunshower Rose with highlights from the NOVA conference. So this would be a great time to everybody to just kind of rehash what's, what was said, what was shared. If you've got something that moved and you'd like to be a candidate for tonight, please, Robin or I know, because we're looking for folks to share little spotlights and little vignettes as Sunshower so aptly did here earlier. So that's our focus for tonight. I think there's also, reiterate, thank you about the special that's going on, 20% discount on that special bundle they put. And anything else?
well, those, before X39, Ian was the star of the show. And just so everyone knows, every one of the patches does way more than we talk about. And we hear it from the stories, but just, there's a really fun story about Ian from Dr. Nicholas and Dr. Joan. But lots of great things happen. So just keep sharing. And we're waiting for confirmation. Dr. Stewart is scheduled. I'm waiting for confirmation for tomorrow night. So we will let you know in the newsletter. And are we celebrating or congratulating anyone tonight?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess that kind of brings us to a wrap. So thank you everyone for being part of this greatest team on earth, greatest team in Lifeway. We love you all. And if you'd like to unmute yourself and say goodbye, now's a good time.
Hey, Gregory, it's
Bye,
Heather.
everybody.
Hey, Gregory.
Bye,
it's
everyone.
Helen.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say,
Thank
share
you.
your stories at Vibrant Living. We do little
Thank
stints,
you.
right, Robin? Yes.
Happy Civil Rights Day.
Thank you,
Everyone.
It was a
Freedom and network marketing.
For being on the call today.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you.
Right.
Health freedom.
Oh,
Thanks,
Time
everybody.
freedom. Woohoo.
Thank you, everyone. Looking forward to tonight.
Bye.
Righty.
Bye.
Have a great day, everybody. You have to pay the price. You have to sacrifice. Freedom isn't free.
Oh, right on.
Nice.
Love y'all. See ya.
Love you.
From my heart to yours, all y'all.
Great job, Darlene.
Thank you.
You guys are totally awesome. One day I'll be just like you all.
Ditto.
You already are, because you're a
You
gal.
already are.
Thank you.